This is the city of Chicago, home to some of the most famous attractions in the world. The Bears, the Bulls, the White Sox, the Cubs, the Blackhawks, the Bean, Sears Tower, John Hancock, Buckingham Fountain, Lake Michigan, and over 166,000 homeless people.
Our job was to figure out why there are so many homeless people in Chicago. And after hours and hours of searching, this is what we came up with.
Some of the fundamental causes of homelessness is a lack of affordable housing, jobs paying a livable wage, domestic violence, child care, transportation, and the list goes on. We feel that decent, safe, and affordable housing is a human right. And what we would like to do is end homelessness. Getting legislation to actually address the homeless issues, the homeless barriers. There's so many barriers in the system, and they are systemic barriers, seemingly so that actually holding people from housing or keeping people from housing, keeping them from actually reaching their American dream.
Dolly Brewer and the Coalition for the Homeless are adamant about getting these people off the street and into affordable housing.
One company that is helping further Dolly's mission is Streetwise. Streetwise is one of the few organizations that will hire homeless people regardless of their past or previous run-ins with the law. When we went to Streetwise, Walter Terry was kind enough to give us a tour of the facilities.
You know, I'm not homeless. I got 2 cars. You know, my family, they love me because I didn't get out the penitentiary this real, making no promises to them that I wasn't going to get high no more.
Not only is it difficult for homeless people to find jobs because of their instability, because there has been more than 383,000 job losses, it's difficult for most Americans to find a job in Chicago.
Well, if it wasn't for Streetwise, I'd have been on the street. Hey, y'all paying for this? We get something for this? You know, this ain't, I know this ain't free. I'm getting something out of this, ain't I?
Barry Coleman is a Streetwise vendor. He is proud that he sells his paper because it allows him to live a decent life.
Streetwise allowed me to work. This is a job. I'm not panhandling. See, because this is the American way. Trade. I trade you this for American currency. I ain't cold at night because I got somewhere to stay. I don't have to have nobody put me out, you know, because I can pay rent. I've been on the streets under Lower Wacker. You know, I stayed in the parks. I slept in abandoned buildings. I stayed with people and got put out from place to place. Didn't have the means of support. That keep a guy like me, if I wasn't selling Streetwise, I couldn't get a job. Your mother and father, sisters and brothers ain't safe on the streets. You know, because if I can't get it one way, I'm gonna get it some other way. I used to be so dangerous until I'd kind of check you out and once and figure out your schedule and come back and get you sometime whenever I desire. You never find me. I'd be on the other side of town next after that moment. I used to be real dangerous. I wouldn't trade this Streetwise for a bucket of marbles, you know? Because it's honest, man, and you can lay down at night. I lay down at night and really relax and feel good, knowing that I made my money honestly, and the next day, if God wakes me up, that I can go out and sell some more papers and make some more money, pay my bills, so I can buy something tomorrow.
I'm also a formerly homeless mom myself. I'm a mom of 8, a grandmother of 26. But after 24 years of being my own property owner and manager, I end up having to flee into an abandoned building. So to me, the coalition gave me a second chance at life. And I'm very grateful today for that, because I get the opportunity now to go into the shelters and to encourage others to don't give up. Right now, we're looking at more than 180,000 homeless people in the streets, in abandoned buildings, like I was, in the abandoned buildings, and under viaducts and bridges, and in church basements, and in the DHS offices waiting. They have even now a waiting line to get in a shelter. What sense does that make?
After hearing what Dolly had to say, we went and visited shelters across the Chicagoland area to figure out why homeless people were standing in line waiting for food and shelter. Unfortunately, no shelter would allow us to interview them.
Well, we feel like we should have at least, and this is a bare minimum, $100 million in the capital budget or year to address the issue of homelessness, because there are so many other states that has more than $100 million in its budget for homelessness, but we always seem to fall short. We never have the amount of money needed on an annual basis to actually address the needs of the homeless and keep them housed.
Having affordable housing seems to be the common denominator in the homeless crisis. Cabrini Green, once home to thousands of homeless and poor people, will now be replaced with middle to upper class condos. The displaced residents will be pushed to the southern and western parts of the city, away from job opportunities. Although people like Barry and Terry have bettered their situations, there are still far too many people on the streets. Without a massive budget increase for affordable housing like Dolly suggested, the homeless crisis will continue.